Welcome back to another episode of Courtside Talk. We got the Week 13 MVP ladder. I'm your host, Matt, aka Easy Money, aka Babyface Killer, aka Mr. Borrow Your Girl. I got Peter Atwell from Storm Fitness in the cut. What's up, bro?
You already know who it is. It's Mr. Fat to Mr. Fit. Get it today, Week 13. It's looking real mean with this list. Got a big list, got big movers and shakers. Let's shake to it.
All right, let's get to it. All right. From the honorable mentions, I will say I could definitely see Steph Curry and James Harden definitely getting some value. They might creep into the top 10. I definitely see Curry being a potential top 5. Do you think Lauri Markkanen is serious on this list?
I was just going to say, look at your boy Caucasian Kevin going crazy on the list right now, bro.
Caucasian Kevin Durant, bro.
Yeah, bro, that's Lauri Markkanen. That's Caucasian Kevin Durant right there, dog. He's been going crazy this season. I know Danny Ainge is mad because he's been making his picks kind of dookie, but the picks they have now, Walker Kessler's making Lauri Markkanen look good. So glad to see him on this list. But again, like they're not serious, bro. Like you said it plenty of times. The Utah Jazz are gonna be in and out of like lottery discussions at some point this season. I think they're gonna drop out of the play-in picture, and then you're not gonna see his name on this list anymore.
All right, we'll see. It's nice to see SGA back in the race. That's pretty cool. Now, I'm going to speak about Ja Morant, okay? Because Ja Morant's been in the top 5, and then he kind of came out. I think between Ja Morant and Giannis, both of them are going to have a difficult time this year. I think this list has become so technical, and the race has become so tight. I believe despite their leadership and despite their teams doing well, I think the efficiency will play a part. I love Ja Morant. He's probably he's one of my favorite players in the league, but that's just real. Between the turnovers, and the missed free throws and things of that nature, I think it's going to hinder them when it comes to, being compared to the top of the top, whether it's Luka,
But the dunks are nice, bro. But the dunks
I'm
are
with
nice.
you, but that's the difference, bro. You could see Luka's game is a bit more mature than Ja Morant.
Yeah, but Luka's not putting Pirtle on ESPN. You know what I'm saying? He's not doing that. I mean, you know what? Luka's on ESPN night. So I'll shut the hell up, bro. Now, Josh saying, I agree with you. The efficiency is gonna make him go further down on this list than you'd like to see him. But in terms of like doing it all for his squad, I think he'll flutter around the 6 to 10 position because he does it all. He does it all.
Yeah, and I think, we just talked about it. Like, KD is going to be out of this race. A month is long enough to be out. Again, with KD, it's all about health. I think when he is playing, he is always an MVP candidate. He plays that well of basketball, but, similar as Curry. Curry was a top 5 contender, and then he got injured, and he's out of this race entirely. So
prediction, Peter is back at it again. Kevin Durant is not winning this MVP race. It sucks, but it is what it is, bro. Let's look to Ben Simmons to kind of pick up the slack with his 0-3 shooting when Kevin Durant's not there.
All right, let's get straight to the top 5. Number 5, we predicted this in previous weeks. Joel Embiid back in the mix. He had a crazy game with just under 24 minutes of action. He dropped 36 points, 11 rebounds. He's averaging a crazy 34, 10, and 4.4. He's in full form. I think at the end of the day, he was a finalist last year. And like I said in previous weeks, I'm not counting guys like this out. I think. What are you saying?
That's my Joel Embiid cry. That's my best Joel Embiid impersonation. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, it was kind of shit, but it's all good.
That was accurate.
Yo, at the end of the day, I think what gives Embiid an edge, I think only Giannis can really compete with him in this category, but it's the defense. I think as much as Joel Embiid has the mechanics, the footwork, the shooting, great free throw shooter, great leader, I think at the end of the day, it boils down to defense that gives him an edge in this race. He's one of the most dominant players defensively. Him and Giannis definitely go toe to toe. And yeah, I just wouldn't be surprised if you see him in the top three, top two in the coming weeks.
Joel Embiid has definitely been looking different since he got that braid up. He's working hard. Yeah, bro. He got the braid up. He's been going crazy since, bro. He's a new man. Yeah, I like the defensive stuff, bro. The guy stands in the middle and he holds it down every play for the 76ers. It was super important when you're playing next to James Harden, bro. The guy loves to let guys just walk by him, and Joel Embiid is the perfect wall to let guys walk by you into. So good to see him number 5 kicking out your boy Booty Durant. Yeah, love to see that. Let's move on. Number 4.
All right, number 4, Giannis. This was my pick before the season started to win the MVP, and I think he's doing amazing things. He's not going to play against the Heat today on Saturday, but despite that, he's been playing amazing. He's been doing everything, and like you said, the way he's been leading this team without Middleton, it definitely gets recognition. Again, if you own him in fantasy, he hasn't been first round material, right? And again, I know it's just fantasy and that's totally different from the NBA. But when we're speaking about this list and we're speaking about, we're coming down to the top 0.0001% and we're really dwindling it down to like 4 or 5 guys. At the end of the day, efficiency is going to be a topic of conversation. And the way Giannis has been missing free throws, and the outside shooting, it's gonna hurt him. It's gonna hurt him when you got players like Tatum, when you got players like Embiid. I'll
give Giannis this. A big reason why he hasn't dropped out of the top 5, big reason why, is because he's doing the playmaking stuff. Like he's making the scrubs around him that are filling in for his top guys a little bit better than they are. It's a big reason why they've been able to keep getting those W's, right? That's a big technical thing that Ja Morant is missing, that the voters are looking for, right? You have Jokic at number 1, you have Doncic at number 2, and those type of guys are masters with the rock. They're creating space, they're creating buckets for their guys, and Giannis is taking a page out of their books to do exactly that for his teammates. Now, again, sitting back to back, he might sit tonight against the Heat again. You don't want to see MVP's duck smoke, bro. I get the Heat is a tough team and your knee is sore, but play tonight. Don't duck the smoke so you can stay on this list, so you can get into that top 1. You never know, because Giannis playing tonight could be the difference between Giannis from being number 1 next week to number 5 this week. Because if he plays a game like tonight's game against the Heat after not playing, and he puts up a historic performance like he has been, he's going to shoot up within the week. But then you sit back to back 2 games, and then you look over at your competition, Luka and Jokic are doing crazy things every night, you're going to stay there. Or lo and behold, you might even drop out of the top 5 because Joel might move up. So I know the MVP means a lot to Giannis. Like he's one of those guys that takes things like very personally. He's watching those lists. So I want to see him play tonight. Otherwise, if he doesn't play tonight, you might see him drop out of the top 5 temporarily.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not playing tonight. That's confirmed. But, this race is volatile like that. If you do miss a game or 2, it could definitely impact your stock. As we've seen players go from 1 to 5 and even outside of the top 5.
3 to 6. 3 to 6. Drop 3 to 6, just sitting a couple games.
Yeah, so definitely rooting for Giannis, but again, he's gotta do a little bit more if he wants those top 3 spots. All right, let's move on to Jason Tatum, the guy who was leading this list, dropped to number 2, and now he's dropping to number 3. Again, it's gonna be hard for Tatum to keep up. I think he's gonna be he has finalist material, but to win it all, it's going to be tough. He's doing amazing, though. 31 points a game, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. At the end of the day, he's on the best team in the league. That will always give him an edge, and that's why I can't even rule him out of being a finalist. But yeah, I think the best part about Tatum is that even though it's just 4 assists, it looks like 6 or 8 the way they're winning.
I was just going to say, the assisting is a big part and reason why I see Luka or Jokic taking it this year over Tatum, right? I've seen Tatum move in between 1 to 5 plenty of times, a lot of times in that top 3 spot. But one thing I don't see Tatum do that Luka and Jokic do a lot is run the show, point guard it out, move the ball, get 6-7 assists a game, bro. Those guys are doing that at a clip that is unbelievable, bro. They're doing that for their team. And I get that the ball's in their hand and Tatum has to share with his co-star a little bit more and, be the guy that's created for. But, when voters are looking at that thing, you said it, they want to see all around. They want to see the point guard stuff. They want to see the efficiency stuff. They want to see the crazy scoring, and they want to see the W's, right? They want to see the W's. Jokic and Doncic have checked every one of those boxes, right? And I think when it comes to voting, they're going to look for their top 3 guys to check every one of those boxes. And Tatum, he checks every box, and the assists are just slightly lacking. They're just slightly lacking, right? And he's a better scorer than he is a playmaker. But again, when you're looking at the MVP, yeah, you need to be playmaking. That's a part of being a very important player, is playmaking for your squad.
Yeah. This award is generally, again, there's some people, there's some outliers, but generally this is usually given to the best player on the best team. So I'm not mad at Jason Tatum if he ends up getting it because rightfully so. He's the best player on the best team, and he plays, despite him scoring 31 a game, he actually plays unselfish basketball. I think he makes the right plays for the most part. His decision making is very mature beyond his years. So shout out Jason Tatum.
I agree. It's just the margins of error are so slim, and when they're that slim, that's what they're gonna look for. And I think that's why Luka is gonna be up there, top 2.
All right, let's talk about the top 2 because, in my opinion, now that we're this deep in the race, I have a theory that Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic are just gonna go back and forth. They're gonna duel it out. There might be a third player, whether it's Giannis or Embiid or Tatum, that might come in and duel it out with them. But for right now, I really see, like similar last year, Embiid and Jokic were going back and forth for the whole second half of the season. I think that's what's gonna, and Giannis as well. But I think that's what's going to happen here. I think it's going to be Doncic and Jokic. Let's focus on Doncic at number 2. He's averaging an absurd 34 points a game, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. They kick the Lakers' ass. Well, I wouldn't say kick their ass. They won in double overtime. But, Luka's doing all the right plays, man. He's barely turning the ball over. His efficiency is amazing for his usage. This is, we're talking about a basketball god here. When we think Luka, like, he's one of those players that he's so exciting to watch. He's almost, you could arguably say he's the face of the NBA right now, with how exciting he's been. I wouldn't be surprised to see him as an MVP at the end of the season. But yeah, I think Luka will, he's gonna give Jokic a run for his money. What do you think of Luka?
Hookah be smoking. The hookah be smoking for real, bro. Luka Doncic gives nobody a rest, okay? And like you said, like those 2 guys, Luka and Jokic, are gonna get the opportunity to go back and forth at each other in terms of anything you can do, I can do better, and they're gonna look at each other's stat lines and they're gonna keep fighting for that 1 and 2 spot. Mainly because not only are they the focal point of their team's offense, but they're the focal point of everything the team does, right? Everything the team does is surrounded by Jokic and Luka on their squads for Denver and Dallas, respectively. For Dallas with Luka, they're getting the W's now, right? They're getting the W's now. They're in that 3rd or 4th spot in the West. They're making that separation between them and the other 5-6 spots that are like struggling to stay in the playoffs above the play-in. Like, he's doing all the things that you want a squad with an MVP to do, right? You got to continue seeing them do that, right? All those guys, I got to see Spencer. I got to watch a couple of games, and I got to see Spencer.
Nice.
Yeah, he's doing very good things with the ball in his hand.
I think he's underrated.
Right? And you got to see Spencer do that against the Lakers, right? Luka took a break, came back, and the game was still in hand. And you want to see
Christian Wood too.
Yeah, Christian Wood too. I think he might get traded. I think he's gonna get traded. I don't know. The fit's weird to me, but like I don't know. I don't see when I see Luka and Christian Wood play together, I see Christian Wood play and I see Luka play. You know what I'm saying? The meshing is not there. But let's not get into that because Luka's crazy. He be smoking, bro. Double apple.
Yeah. Double apple. Yeah, I mean, shout out to Luka. Honestly, I think he's the favorite to win. He's got the star power, he's got the celebrity, and that might make an impact with his name. You know, if he keeps playing like this, he might take the edge against Jokic. But let's move on to number one, Nikola Jokic. This guy, he's bringing something every night that's hard to count him out of this race. The other night, he became the first player in NBA history with a 15 plus assist triple double with no missed field goals, right? And then the fall, like 2 nights later, 21 points, 18 rebounds, and 9 assists against Phoenix, right? He didn't even play in the fourth quarter, right? So we're talking about, I don't like, Jokic is clearly the best player. Like, he's 27 years old. There's players with way bigger names than him, but he's looking for a back to back to back. I think he might three-peat, man. If he keeps playing like this, he's a clear front runner. He's clearly the best player in the NBA, and it's crazy to see with all these players, whether it's KD, LeBron, Kawhi, Paul George, Luka, Jason Tatum, Steph Curry, John Morant, all these young stars, man. And to say that, Nikola Jokic is clearly the best out of all of these players, I think he's putting the league on notice. Like, yo, I'm fucking him, bro.
I wouldn't say the best, but I would definitely say the most mature in his approach, because even though he's 27, still very young, the way this guy has figured out the game is incredible, right? We were talking about how the efficiency and the playmaking really separates him and Luka from the rest of the list. But I think what separates him and Luka 1 to 2 at the moment is that Jokic is not just manipulating games, but he's manipulating his W's to fit what he wants to do. He's looking at his stat lines and he's saying, yeah, my points are crazy. I'm averaging 27, 12, and 8. And then he goes, you know what? I kind of want to average a triple-double. And then he's getting W's averaging 23, 12, and 9, and 10. You know what I'm saying? He's doing what he wants. He's sacrificing what he wants to still get the W's. So it's not like, I need to do this for my team. He knows exactly what he needs to do for the team, and he's choosing what he wants to do and when he wants to do it to get W's in multiple different fashions. He's saying, yeah, I can score and get this W, or I can chill and still get this W. And I think that maturity of being able to manipulate the game at any time you want is really the true definition of an MVP, because not only are you doing what you need to do to win the games, but you're doing what you want. You're doing what you want on one of the greatest stages with the greatest athletes in the world. You're literally
he's having his way, bro. You could tell, bro. The game slows down for him. Him and Luka.
Greatest NBA soldiers.
Him and Luka both slow down the game in a way where, it's becoming kind of like this European signature. They're not playing at the athletic pace of everyone else. They're kind of slowing down the game and make everyone play at their pace.
They're basketball dictators.
Yeah.
It's the basketball dictatorship with these two.
Hell yeah. No, we're excited. Week 13 of the NBA MVP ladder. The race is spicy. You never know who's going to come and try to take number 1 and 2 spot. We're excited for week 14. Every week,
I got Luka.
Every week moving forward is going to be very, very intense when it comes to this. We're really coming down to the wire after the All-Star break. So, catch everything that we're doing.
But not Slim Reaper.
Yeah, well, we hope KD gets better. Peter's a shitty person for taking advantage of his injury. But before we go, let's talk about this Secret Santa you got. What is this?
This is my notes for when I have to take when I watch games. I got to take notes of my MVPs that are probably dropping. So when you see Kevin Durant drop from 3 to 6, know he's in my beautiful butt list.
All right, show us your coloring book.
You want to see my coloring book?
Yeah.
I don't know if this is YouTube safe. We're gonna get dark edition. Holy. The dark edition, bro.
Yo.
Yeah. Yeah, dicks, dude.
All right. This is Courtside Talk. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back next week. We out.
Yes, sir.